Hello, I am Centimus Prime, and here I will be reviewing the LEGO Ultra Agents set number 70161 Tremors Track Infiltration. So, let's go ahead and start the review. I believe a fair enough place to start this review off would be with the minifigures. So we have two minifigures included in here. We have a good agent, like ultra agents for the good guys, and we also have uh this guy here. His name is Tremor. He's a bad guy. He wears silver. Let's go ahead and talk about these guys. Why not? So here we have the ultra agent. His Jack Fury. Yeah, almost forgot the name. Yeah, his name is Jack Fury. So, yeah, we can take a good look at him without the accessories. And yeah, he has some really nice printing to him. He got some good printing on the legs where the knees would be, and like a nice like belt printing over here, like over where at the waist piece, as well as some really nice good printing on the torso where it looks like a vest over like a suit. No printing on the arms, that's fine. It's all good. And we also got some really good printing on the back of the torso as well. And then of course we have Nick Fury's printed face, looks awesome. And then we have it does have an alternate expression. The back of his face has like a more stern kind of expression, while the one we have here is a slightly more confident smirk kind of face. And we also got his hairpiece, which I'm pretty sure that this is like the same type of hairpiece that like Clutch Powers uses. Could be wrong with that, but it definitely looks like that to me. I've even like looked up like old like videos about Clutch Powers. It definitely looks like it to me. But anyway, for accessories for this guy, we have a like white with a gray trigger, like a stud launcher kind of thing, with some translucent orange studs as ammunition. So yeah, it's one of these types of stud launchers where you can basically just launch it, press it down, launch it, then like load it back up by attaching the stud connection onto the barrel. And it even comes with an extra one that you can place on the back. It would even include an extra one that you would place on the back of the blaster. And it also comes with a shield. So we have like this nice shield thing right here with a sticker over this. Got like a really nice sticker there. Looks good. But I am like kind of fascinated with the parts usage because he kind of uses like he clips his hand onto this bar connection here and he kind of uses it as like a riot shield kind of thing, which is a fascinating parts usage. Like I've heard people refer to this type of piece as like a car spoiler, and it does look like that, but my first experience with this piece is actually with a set that would be released at around the time that this set would have released. The as like armor plating for Cole's mech here, from that like rebooted wave of Ninjago. Uses four of them right here. So this is like my first experience with this piece. So yeah, like experience. Yeah, so like seeing this piece in a whole new different in a completely different way than I'm used to is quite fascinating. like very interesting use of that part. And then for our for our antagonist minifigure, we have Tremor. What can I say about him? He's big, he's bulky, and he's also bad. He's like an evil guy. Though he does look really though he does look really good. Very nice, like with the like lacquered like silver with the drum lacquered like silver like helmet and like chest armor like piece. Unfortunately, it is all molded in one part, so yeah, you can't like once you put it on, like there's like no head articulation to speak of, unfortunately. But it still looks really good. It's very detailed, lots of rivets and little like greebling details here and there. Very nice. I like it. And then without it, we do get a good look at Tremor without the armor. Here's a good look at the printing at the back. The printing at the back looks great. And he also comes with an alternate expressions. So the printing on the legs look really nice. Printing on the front of the torso looks great. And then for his head, he has this sort of visor thing, which gets partially covered up, like which can be covered up by the helmet that he wears. It gives him like a nice look for his visor. So over here, he has like a sort of frowning expression on one side of the face and like a snarling expression on the other, which is neat. He also comes with a pair of these fists that can clip onto his minifigure hands. Like we've definitely seen like a good amount of like this piece, but it is like it's a nice it's a cool piece to see. Definitely enjoy seeing it. And like seeing them here in silver with what not only like the really nice silver printing, but also the silver armor. That just looks great. Awesome minifigure. All right, and then after that, we can now get on to the build portion. So we'll start off with the smaller thing. So here we have this. What do I call this? It's like this, like sort of like it's like this small. It's a small side build. It's basically the small side build where it's designed to like to house this. It's like I guess it's like a data chip. It's like a data chip filled with like in universe like in probably filled with like super important information or someone's browser history. Like either one. Like so what happens here is like you go to the back, you flip this, and you basically just load this. You basically just slide this in and then flip it up right there. And then from the front, you can even like see the data chip from the front, and thanks to this window display. And it also shows like we also get a couple stickers here. Sticker here showing off some nice detail. And it says like data protected. It's like a data bank. It's like a data bank. That's what it is. A data bank. That's the word I'm thinking of. Then down here we have another sticker. It's like a warning label says alert. And what appears to be a minifigure hand. So apparently, like a feature in the set is that if you like take like a giant fist or a finger or something, or like a launcher or like whatever like projectile that you think to use, what you would do is you would basically just like flick this inward and then launch the very important browser history data out of the out from the back. Very very it's a simple it's simple, but it seems to be very, very nice. I do like how it like sits in this very nice sort of display angle. And I also like the function of it. It's simple, but I feel like it works. It's a simple but it works kind of function, and I can enjoy that. So that's nice. And now, for the main portion of the build itself, we have Tremor's. We have Tremor's like tracked infiltration vehicle. So here's the vehicle itself. So it's basically this giant like armored tank. It's basically like this giant like armored vehicle with a pair of giant fists on the front. And its main feature is you turn this knob here on the front, and it basically gives you like a Rock'em Sock'em esque a Rock'em Sock'em like function where the fists can go back and go back and forth, can be pulled, can punch back and forth. It's a very nice like finicky. It's a very nice like finicky kind of. It's a nice sort of fidget kind of gimmick, which works well enough. Again, it's one of the simple ones that I feel works. So, I feel like we can start by looking at details here. The fists actually, I feel like the actual like fist portions of this like punching fist vehicle, I feel like the fists themselves are built really nicely. Like you have these fingers. Sorry about that. We have these fingers which can, because of what parts they use, like they're attached so that they can articulate. Yeah, so that the fists can articulate. You can flip out the fingers. You can have them point out. You can have them point out and do like an A kind of thing, or you can have them splayed out, and like I guess try to have them like hold something. Like what can we have them hold? Like Bumblebee. We can try to have them hold Bumblebee, like Origins Bumblebee. You can hold the vehicle can hold Origins Bumblebee with no real issue aside from it. It's kind of front. It kind of makes it front heavy, but you can hold it. I just find it to be a fascinating. It's a fascinating like coincidence thing that the fingers are able to articulate, and yeah, like you have like some nice detailing. It's like it. I feel like it works. Then we have like the assembly that connects that hold the fists in place, like and like makes up the function, which you have which is made up of a few like Technic lift arms, some small Technic pieces. We have a couple of these like cylinder assemblies. One of them is one of which being raised up and acting as the knob function to turn and therefore activate the punching gimmick. I find this to be quite neat. It does make like this being raised up kind of interesting. It's an interesting design choice, but I do like how it's not just like a red knob or whatever that's like too like unrealistic. It's at least a detail, an actual detail of the vehicle that's like a works as a function as like a knob or or switch or whatever. That's nice at least. And they do have like at least a little bit now from like most angles, especially from like the top angles. The Technic lift arms can make it look kind of like hollow. They have at least like tried putting on some pieces to cover up some of this by adding some 1x4 tiles with some sticker detailing, which I feel like it helps a little bit, but like most people like aren't really too like wouldn't be too pleased with how exposed these Technic lift arms are. I personally don't mind it that much. I think it's fine enough. I think it's all well enough. So the function portion, overall, I find it to be quite nifty. But then we have the rest of the vehicle to talk about. Now, the gimmick thing, it's really nice and it's silly. It's like it's a nice blend between silly and finicky and like gimmicky, but also like a yeah, it's like but also has like a surprisingly like serious kind of like a style to it, going off of the rest of the vehicle because yeah, like even though it's like a treaded vehicle with admittedly a very silly it's a charming but silly like kind of gimmick. However, I've noticed if you say removed said gimmick, like just like tore off the gimmick and then looked at the vehicle on its own without like the main like driving gimmick, that looks surprisingly militaristic for a official Lego set. Like they legitimately went like they legitimately went well. We kind of designed like this was sort of missile like tank kind of military vehicle. But hey, if we add a silly little kids gimmick to it, like say like a rock'em sock'em punching gimmick, then it looks silly enough for it to not be a realistic military vehicle, right? I find it to be I find it to be I find it to be quite interesting. But anyway, we can take a look at the rest of the vehicle. So at the front, we do have some sharp edges, like some sharp points here where I guess the headlights are. So we have like where the headlights are, we have like these like floodlights over here across the front. And if we remove these again, we have some sticker detailing on each side of the front saying like stomp number 1, and also some like grate detailing and like some vents and some like fancy detailings and stuff here. We move up, we get to see a little bit of like nice little greebling, some like engine detailing, uh some other like greebling here and there. Nice stuff. Unfortunately, like the like inside is kind of like a bare, as some would call it. Go like they've made good use of the parts here, but I will admit see like looking at the inside of this vehicle just to see like the treads exposed like that, it admittedly looks kind of bare, but mostly unnoticeable when you have the gimmick back on. You have the gimmick attached, and sort of draws its attention. And then back here we get a couple more stickers with some more detailing, where you have like little detailing, so that shows you the set number as well as some other little greeblings. Back towards here, like towards the side, we do have a look at the treads themselves, which the treads do roll pretty decently, especially on a matted kind of especially on like a matted kind of surface like what I have. And then towards the back, we actually have some other like little gimmicky stuff. So on each side, we have a couple of flick fire missile kind of functions. So we can. Ooh, I got a good launch out of that one. So yeah, so we got like little technique supports that just gives that when you give a good flick, they can launch pretty good. Like that is really nice. I appreciate that. And in the off chance that you say lose one of these, you can pull out one of the spares clipped onto the sides of the vehicle. But since I'm slightly more careful with mine, I could just insert the one I just launched out back in. So after, and because of how they're attached, they can adjust too, giving you a sort of like aiming system. You can like adjust your fire, which is nice. Back here, you do have a sort of steering assembly, of which you can take Tremor, and I guess you could either try to sit him down like that and have him try to activate and have him like steer the vehicle like that, or you can try to stand him up like that. This can steer too, which is nice, but you can also stand him up and have him like, I guess, try to grab onto the steering like that. You can set him down. He's admittedly a bit exposed, but considering that he's wearing some serious like heavy armor, I don't know if he like finds that to be a big deal or not. And then for the back, we have some nice detailings. So we have like some tail lights. What seems to be some tail lights. We have an antenna attached to a hinge clip. We have attached to a hinge, so it can articulate a bit. You can fold it in, though it probably will get in the way of the punching gimmick. Or you can have it like hinged out like that, so it's more pointed backward, more pointed out towards that way, which is nice. Personally, like a nice in between is like nice like that. Cool. And then over here on the opposite side, we do have what appears to be an exhaust pipe kind of detail there, which is fascinating. I enjoy that. And then yeah, here we have a look at the underside. Very clean, surprisingly clean, considering how gappy the rest of the vehicle is. Though I honestly don't mind that. Like though it is gappy in some areas, I feel like if from most angles it looks fine. Like it doesn't look too barren. Though there definitely would, though if you are to modify this vehicle, there definitely is room for improvement, which is fine. It ain't a perfect vehicle, but I feel like for what it's going for, I feel like it does at least a decent job. Like I feel like it does pretty decent. But I find it to be really cool. So I find that to be really cool. So I feel like I should mention this. Like this set when it originally came out, like in like 2013 ish or 2015. So like during like the 2010s. Like I believe when this set came out, it went for $20. I got mine used for $30 at Breaking Bad. Didn't have its box, but aside from it not having its box, it aside from not having the box, like I got it like in very good condition. All the stickers are there and placed nicely. All the pieces are here. Nothing's damaged. No, like everything's also nice and clean. I appreciate that. I can definitely appreciate that. And so, with that, that is pretty much it. Like for the review for this set, so like overall, I find it to be a nice. I find it to be a nice throwback to the sets at the time. Like it's definitely a nice throwback. Um, in terms of parts, like there's definitely some interesting like parts and stuff in here, but like but to be honest, when it comes to getting uh retired like Lego sets from discontinued Lego themes like this, like it honestly like becomes less of a matter of like price to part ratio and what you're getting and what parts you're getting, and more of like the actual build itself, like the actual like figures and parts, the actual like build itself more so than the parts it's made out of. And so looking at it like that, I do find this to be quite a fascinating and interesting. I do find this, yeah, like I do find this to be a quite fascinating sort of set. It has it definitely has a few like really nice like features and gimmicks and stuff. You get a couple of pretty good minifigures. You got a nice little side build with a nice little gimmick, nice little like feature, like nice little like action feature. And then you also have like this. You also have like uh, this like this like a flawed, but it kind of you have this like interesting sort of militaristic kind of vehicle with like a with like a nice silly little gimmick, with like a silly gimmick on top of it to make it look less serious. It looks it is a fascinating style to go for, to have like this serious militaristic vehicle and then just add Rock'em Sock'em arms on top of it. I do find it to be a fascinating thing. And yeah, and then yeah, like you have the vehicle. It comes with like a really fun uh you get a really fun like fidgeting kind of gimmick to it. You can just punch things or like solve a Rubik's cube with these giant Rock'em Sock'em hands, and that is something that like they've done for the Ultra Agents, like like in terms of like Ultra Agents like media, they've actually I actually seen them do that where they have a Rubik's cube thing of some kind and they have them solve it with the vehicle. It's silly. It's meant to be one of those silly kind of concepts made into a Lego set, and for that I find it to be quite nice. In my opinion, so for me, I definitely feel like I got my money's worth out of this. It is definitely a fun uh, blast from the past, and yeah, like I do find this to be a fascinating set for that. So yeah, like Lego Ultra Agents. This is my first ever set from Lego Ultra Agents, and I will say this is definitely a good first impression. I definitely like this. Really nice. So I really enjoyed it. But what did you think? Like, let me know down in the comments like what you think of a set like this, where it's definitely less than perfect, but I feel like for the style it's going for and like the gimmicks like features it has, I find it to be quite nice. But I think with that, I think that'll be it for this review. If you enjoyed this video, consider to like and subscribe and maybe even comment if you want. And of course, I will be posting again sooner or later.